Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Breitling Endurance Pro. The MSRP for this watch is $3,150, which is kind of a bargain for the bright light material, which this case is made out of. It's forged carbon composite. And I say it's kind of a bargain because the other model that they offer this material in is the Avenger Hurricane, and the price for that is $7,500. So I spent a little bit of time with this watch. I've not really worn it all that much. This watch is in on loan from Saltzmans watches, so I really appreciate them for sending it over. And I'll leave a link in the description below to their Instagram and website, so go pay them a visit. All right, so this watch is designed to be a lightweight chronograph with the ultralight bright light case. The website has said it's designed for athleisure and some other kind of activity, but I guess the athleisure makes sense. If you're to wear it, if you're jogging or doing some kind of sporting activities, you could time yourself with the 30-minute chronograph, and also you can check your pulse to see if you're getting a good workout. It has the pulsometer, 30 pulsation scale. So what you do is you would start the chronograph and then you check your pulse. I don't know how you're supposed to do that with your fingers down here, I guess. But anyway, you check your pulse. And when you get to 30 pulses, then you would stop the chronograph. So I don't know what your pulse rate's supposed to be. I think maybe 100 or 80. I'm not sure what your standing pulse rate is supposed to be. But anyway, you would say you get your 30 pulses, and you would stop it, and then that tells you you're at 75 beats per minute, I guess, for your pulse. Oops. Actually, if you were to go, see how low does this go? 40. Anyway, I don't know if the math works out. I'm not too good with math on the fly, but you know what? Let's start this over again. Oh, I'm starting it. Reset. Then I'll start it, and then this here, that rotates every second. This fully rotates that right subdial, so that would be tenths of a second. And then the lower subdial is your running second hand. And then the left subdial is, again, your 30-minute timer. Yeah, this watch is incredibly light. It weighs in at 65 grams. I know some folks on the unboxing had commented that they really don't like this watch because it's not what Breitling represents to them. I think it's a cool material. It's scratch resistant. It's corrosion resistant. And if you do get a scratch on here, you're really not going to notice it all that much. If you get a scratch on a stainless steel watch, for example, you can feel it and you can see it. This one here has some little hairlines right there. You see some scuffs and marks on there, and I baby this watch. I always wear it with long sleeve shirts, so I really have no idea how I got those scuffs on there, but it's the nature of wearing watches. So the bright light material is 3.3 times lighter than titanium, and it is 5.8 times lighter than stainless steel. I mean, when you hold this watch in your hand, it's mind-blowing how light this thing is. And when I first unboxed it, it's just amazingly light. Some folks might think it's toy-like feeling, and then you have these kind of flashy colors. So I don't own a Breitling, but say this will be an analog for a Breitling watch. It's around the same price point, and it's a luxury Swiss watch brand, so definitely looks a little more toy-like than a watch like this, and the weight difference as well. So it uses the Breitling caliber 82, which is COSC, C-O-S-C, super quartz chronograph. It's accurate to 10 seconds per year. Some quartz watches are accurate to 10 seconds per month. And then, mechanical watch, well, not this one, but say a watch like this, you'd be happy with it being accurate to 10 seconds per day. This is Seiko, the new Seiko Field Watch with the 4R36 movement. So 10 seconds per day, you'd be pretty happy with this watch getting that. And this one's accurate to 10 seconds per year, which is pretty amazing. And the movement is thermocompensated. So there's a mechanism inside here that compensates for the differences in the temperature, and the temperature differences will affect the accuracy of your quartz watch. It'll run faster or slower based on extreme temperatures. All right, so I already mentioned the weight, 65 grams. Lug to lug on this is 52.5, and my wristband is 52 millimeters, so it technically overhangs my wrist a little bit. Case diameter on the Breitling website says it's 44. I measured the bezel at 44.8. In the case, not really able to get a good measurement on that, so I'm not sure how they came up with 44 millimeter diameter. But the bezel for sure is 44.8. This compass bezel. I think it would be better with a 12-hour bezel, or even a countdown bezel, really. And this doesn't have a click spring, it's just kind of a friction fit. It is held on by these 4 screws. There we go. It'd be nice if those were black. That'd be a nice touch, wouldn't it? If those screw heads were black, like my Zen U50 and my 105. The other thing that makes it kind of toy-like is it has this rubber piece on the crown. Oops, I probably shouldn't have done that while it was running. There we go. So I had meant to point out that this stopped spinning after 1 minute. I guess I got carried away. So I have a question for you. Are these hands, is that red or is that orange on these hands? I think it's red, but I had read somewhere else that it's orange. So definitely not the same color as the strap or that chapter ring. Anyway, back to the dimensions. Thickness on this is 13, which is a little thicker than I thought it would be. I'm not sure why it's so thick, being that it's a quartz movement. And then the strap, 22 millimeter, and that does taper down to 20 millimeter. And this is a rubber strap. In fact, it says rubber right here. If you understand or read French, that says rubber in French, cow thick. I did not know that. I had to look it up. So, interesting note there. And you can see a sign Breitling on the back. All right, so some of the negatives is the dial is pretty busy, but that can be a positive as well. I know some folks like busy dials. Numbers 3, 6, 9, 10, and 2, well, actually 1 and 11 are cut out for the subdials. So really only 4, 5, 7, and 8 are the only full numbers on here. And in between 4 and 5, you see the date. Let me stop this, and then we'll let it snap back. So watch this snap back. It's pretty neat. And then you have endurance and chronometer on here. Not chronometer. Yeah. Oh yeah, chronometer, not chronograph. Chronometer because of the cost accuracy on it. And then either side of the 6, both sides of the 6, it says Swiss made. A sapphire crystal with some blue AR coating, which you can see here. So let me know if you guys have had hands-on with this watch and what your feelings are with this watch. I think a lot of us are used to a luxury watch having some heft to it. And I think I'll do a video talking about expensive quartz watches versus mechanical. All right, also wanted to talk about the water resistance. This watch is rated to 100 meters of water resistance, and it does have a push-pull crown, which I had demonstrated earlier, but we'll do it one more time. So in this position, you can change the date. So the running second is still running, and then if I pull it all the way, that will stop. So we're hacking, and then time setting, so you can change the time. Yeah, it's a cool watch. I really appreciate Saltzmans for sending it over. Always wanted to check out this watch with this material. If they had a simple three-hand watch, which was a little bit smaller, say like the size of this field watch, or even the size more so like the Tudor Black Bay, I would very strongly consider buying one. It's really tempted to buy this watch for myself. It's a great color with the orange. It's a fun, cool watch. It's quartz. I do appreciate some quartz watches in my collection. You can just grab and go, but it's just it's too big for me for my wrist, and I'll show you that on my wrist right now. Also, the strap does look cool. It is rubber, but it's quite thick, and it's not that flexible. Maybe it would break in over time. Like I said, I haven't really worn it that much. It's not my watch. I feel kind of funny about wearing watches lent in. So really just put it on wrist for the video presentation. And I can take it all the way down to that second hole position. There's one more left. So technically, if you have a 6.5 inch wrist, you can wear this watch on the factory strap. Push that in there. And the buckle has, well, two buckles to it, I guess. And then you can securely push under here. And then the keeper out here. Strap is a little long for my wrist. You have the part sticking out over here. But anyway, we'll check it out here, and then we'll check out the loom towards the end. If you have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And like the video and leave a comment below. A battery life on this is supposed to be 3 to 4 years, and I mentioned that because I just ran the chronograph again. I'm sure running the chronograph will eat up some of that battery life, so I wouldn't leave it running all the time. So anyway, here it is, my 6.5 inch wrist, 52 millimeter wristband, and lug to lug on this is 52.5. And I don't know if you can see the stiffness of the strap. But anyway, let's zoom out. So there she is again on my 6.5 inch wrist. Let me know what you guys think. Would you wear a watch if it was this size on your wrist? I do have a Bulova Lunar Pilot, which is pretty similar in size to this, but I really like that watch, and was 1/10 of the price of this watch, so I'm okay with wearing that one, even though it's a little bit too big for me. Really, the only other black watches I have are G-Shocks. I gotta get them out of the studio here. Got 2 of them, and they both died on me. I still never fixed this watch yet. Anyway, let's, you know what, I'll show it next to my Seiko SKX, and then we'll check out the loom on this watch. So another size reference here. It's so light. If you guys, if you have a store close to you, you should go check it out. It's amazingly lightweight at 65 grams. I know the G-Shock is lighter, but a watch like this, you just expect it to be heavy, like 150 grams or whatever your normal stainless steel watch is. All right, let's pause the video and then we'll check out the loom. And stop this one more time and then watch that the chronograph second hand reset. All right, so on the left I have the Tudor Black Bay 58. In the middle, obviously, the Breitling Endurance Pro. And on the right, my SKX 009. Probably not a fair comparison, but the lume on the Breitling is not quite as bright as both of these divers. Maybe one day I'll get in or buy a Breitling Super Ocean or the Super Ocean Heritage. There's a couple of them I've been looking at, just never went through with the purchase. So that's the problem with limited funds. Maybe one day I'll hit the lottery. All right, I'm going to hit this with the UV light again because the Breitling, it glows a bluish color when I hit it with the UV light, and the other two are green. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know if you see it on the camera or not. By eye, I can definitely see the bluish glow. Hopefully you can make it out on your end of the camera there. And then these other ones are just a greenish glow. All right, that will conclude today's video. Sorry I went a little long. As always, appreciate you guys watching and taking the time. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Talk to you soon.